Hey everybody, double round week is in the past, but still we have Real Madrid on the top undefeated. Um, and we remain to see who will be able to finally stop them. However, they just had the first defeat in the year. They lost the ACB, so I don't know if that's a hint for next few games in the Euroleague. We shall see. But I think there were some teams that they had a very good performance during that week. So except of Real, we had Baskonia, Panathinaikos, and Olympiacos all winning both their games, and that having them climb up the standing. So you can see Panathinaikos being at spot 5, and the same we have just below 7 Olympiacos and Baskonia 10, all of them with 5 wins and 4 losses, the same record. So very, very competitive, the mid-table there. And we also have FS, Algiris and Partizan very close, just one win below. So anything can change. On the other hand, we had Fener and Valencia dropping down. As you can see, they are 8 and 9 position, still both playoff bound, but they did lose both games in this double week, and especially Fener had a very difficult trip in Serbia on the at the start of the week. So let's see how they bounce back from that. So Konstantinos, should we
Um,
get on the next round?
yeah, yeah. Before we move on, let me add that um, you know, I just noticed by seeing the standings, we see the two Italian teams. They started, Virtus Bologna started the season not greatly. They changed the coach. They brought Luca Banchi in, but you see they are a third place compared to Olimpia Milano. They signed Mirotic. Only this speaks volumes with the off season they had, but you see them in the 15th spot so far. It's the beginning. I understand we have a huge road ahead of us, but you know, just from the first impressions, let's say from the first 9 games, you see it's two contradicting teams. One team is playing like a team compared to the other team that had, some internal issues that was, in the news as well. But let's see how they can move on, and remember, EuroLeague has like 34 games, so this is just, the tip of the iceberg so
Yeah,
far.
so we're just less than 1/3
Hmm.
of the way. Still quite a lot to cover, but Virtus, I think no one would expect them to be 6-3 at this point, and also they're playing really nice basketball. So great work from Banki, as you
Yep.
said.
Hmm. I agree. So let's see in round 10 how the
Also,
schedule. Yep.
I wanted to add Olympiacos wins. I think are also very important to maybe focus on, because they were down 2 key players. So they were down Milutinov, the main center, and
Hmm.
William Goes. The
Starting guard,
next the
perhaps.
guard
Yep.
next,
Hmm.
perhaps, yeah, the guard next to walk up. So you wouldn't expect to just do a clinic and win both of them. These are very difficult situations, and I think they bounce back really well. This.
True. True. That's they show that they work as a team. No matter of who is playing, who is not playing, who is injured, who is unavailable. Every player knows his role. For example, in last week, Peters played exceptionally well, especially in the second game. So, he picked up the scoring and he just, performs and is a main factor of Olympiacos having these wins. And Mustafa Fall, of course, in the paint. He is the main pillar of the team with Milutinov injured.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see how things will build up. As we said, the mid table is ever changing with everyone being
Mhm.
around. So
Yep.
next week we have um again a couple of good games. Or what do
Yep.
you say, Constantinos?
Yep. I agree. One day after my birthday, so we don't have too many good games or big games, should I say. I believe we have plenty of games that can go either way. But two games that stand out is the Maccabi versus Barcelona. The game will be playing in Belgrade. Maccabi is not playing in Tel Aviv for the moment. Um, I believe it's a big game. We have to see, um, how both teams will play. I believe Barcelona also lost in the SAB, so we have to see how they will bounce back. And also, Virtus Bologna versus Fenerbahce is another very interesting game to see. As Bill said, Virtus Bologna is playing very nice, very attractive, and exciting basketball so far. And on the other hand, you have Fenerbahce, who did not have a good last double round, um, and they need to bounce back into the W row. So these two games stand out as, but as you see, and as I said, there are a lot of interesting games to watch. And now for the coach selection. For the coaches, we suggest choose Mateo from Real Madrid with 11.9 credits. Real Madrid is playing versus Alba Berlin. It's the first versus the last in the standings. So we believe because Real Madrid has the quality and the players will have, let's say, an easy victory. Then we have Coach Ataman with 9.8 credits. Panathinaikos is playing versus Valencia. Um, we have to see if Panathinaikos keeps adding W's and climbs in the standings. However, last year they lost versus Valencia. If you remember, Chris Jones scored a three-pointer. It was kind of buzzer beater, almost a buzzer beater, and Valencia won. But this year is different. But still, Valencia is a very dangerous team, and it has the quality and the players to create some damage. Then we have Lucan Banchi from Virtus Bologna with 6.4 credits. Virtus is playing very exciting, and each player knows his role to the team. For example, in the last game versus Panathinaikos, we saw Marco Bellinelli scoring 20 points. He was like, he's like the old wine. And Fenerbahce on the other side did not have a good week, and I believe they lost a big game with huge difference versus Crvena Zvezda. So
Yeah, both of these games, I think Panathinaikos, Valencia, and Virtus Bologna, Fener are quite dangerous games, if we can say that, for the
mhm.
for the home team. Although we give them the advantage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's why I said there's plenty of games that can go either way. Like, even if you say there is the advantage of the home court, let's say, but no, the away team, it doesn't mean that doesn't have the quality or the players to win the games. And lastly, we have Coach Chan with 6.2 credits from Anadolu FS. Again, a very very interesting game to watch versus Partizan. Coach Berdovic, he can prepare the team, even though he has some absences. We all know that Kevin Panner is not back yet, but also in the news they had Trifunovic also injured, who is a role player, but still he gets his minutes. And compared to that, on the other side, FS has Larkin, maybe questionable. he was injured, and coach Chan said that they're kind of severe injury or serious injury, but the next days we'll know more if Larkin will be available or not. Um, but nonetheless, it's a big game to watch, and in FS home court.
Yeah,
So
I believe potentially the coach meant that they would just lose the game for Euroleague, so they will
mhm.
miss the games for Euroleague. Maybe not so serious injuries. I mean, we haven't heard much around Larkin's situation.
Mhm. Yes, that's true. Maybe also the coaches do that to protect the players for EuroLeague, because EuroLeague now is like a marathon with 34 games, so they can lose one, or they can just play more the role players in the local championships, especially if it's not a big game, and to prepare the players for the EuroLeague games. But these are the coach selections that we have for this round. Should we? Do you have anything to add, Bill? Because before we move to our teams.
Um, no, I don't think so. There are many interesting games, but I think this week is a little bit more difficult compared, for example, with the previous double week. So we had 5 out of 6 in the previous 2 rounds, and we made all our coach selections on previous round. And I mean, the highlight for me was Potsenko winning in Germany, thing that we had in our team, and we
Yeah.
also said on our previous episode. So I hope these have the same luck. So with that, I can move to our team, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, we had some, I think, wise selections for last round, but something very annoying happened. Something that happened last year as well. You have your team rolling, and you are ready for your captain to play the game, and I think last minute or just after the first game, I don't know exactly the time, but then EuroLeague decides to let us know, Fantasy, that okay, Sadekis will stay out. Then we found out he had some
Yeah.
flu
Flu.
thing,
Yeah. Hmm.
and potentially didn't even travel. I'm not sure, but as you can see here, he was our captain, and we got 0. And it was a last minute decision, as we were bouncing between Sengeli and Mitoglu, that they both had amazing game, and we said no, we'll go with Sedegerskis. And this happened. So Paul, amazing game. Tavares, great one. Campazzo, mediocre one. Obradovic got the win. Uh, but yeah, we lose around potentially 40 to 50. Um, I would
Points.
say from here that get us around 200.
Mhm.
But well, that's fantasy, so you need also the luck in order to progress. We had a good capital gains, 2.4. So let's see what we can do in the next round. So for next round, first of all, we decided that we want to keep most of our players. You can see Sedekerski is still having that red flag, um, meaning that he's not available or injured, but in reality, I think he just played in ACB.
Yeah.
Um, so he's actually fine. So we keep him in the team. Of course, we can move anyone from the Holy Trinity, Sengelia, Mitoglu, Sedekerskis. We also have Tavares and Capaccio that we think that would be very productive and have a very good game with Berlin. Perhaps the only problem that I see coming with Real Madrid games is similar with what happened with the previous week with Monaco. If they almost decide the match within 25 minutes of game, like what happened in Monaco, and they're like 25, 30 points ahead. There is no reason for Chus Mateo to keep the star players in. Injuries could happen, so he protects them and he does good. So that means we get into the situations when you have minute restrictions and player like Tavares and Capazzo that would normally play 30 minutes would stop at around 20. That will cost you quite a lot of fantasy points. So that's perhaps the danger here. But these are players we already have, and we don't want to, get into this let's say challenge to change them now and try to get them back. And especially when we did that before with Campazzo. Campazzo had like 30 points. So fall stay. So the only changes we did is actually on the players with lower credit. So Kahudi, that he performed amazingly as long as we had it for his credits 5.2, I think.
He's decent
Um,
for the amount of credits you have to spend to bring him to the team. He's decent, I would say.
exactly, very decent. Bench player to give you something between 5 to 9 points depending the night. Of course, into half because bench, but still, with his credits. And then we changed Mahmutoglu that he doesn't really get playing time to Nut. That we expect he gets some more minutes. And then we also changed. I said I didn't say who replaced. Kahudi is replaced by Diaz. So the reason for that one is only 4.5, as you can see. But with the recent problem with
Marinkovic.
injury,
Mhm.
Marinkovic injury in Baskonia in the double round week, we can see that Diaz, although 4.5 credits, he played 29 and 28 minutes. So a very productive role for him. He dished a couple of assists. He grabbed, as you can see, 6 rebounds on each of these games and have 5 and 6 points respectively. And he scored around 10 points, fantasy points on these games. So it seems like a big steal with 4.5 credits if he can do anything close to that. And of course, we keep Mustafa Fall since I think Milutinov is still uncertain. So as long as Fall is playing solo, he's having, as you can see, great productive play. So 24, 16.5, and 30.8 fantasy points. Not just scoring around 10 to 14 points, but also grabbing all the rebounds. You can see 14 rebounds, 14 points, 14 rebounds the last game. And he also dishes some assists. He has blocks, 3-1-3. And he's also playing way lot, so around 35 minutes. So it's the starter for Olympiacos center position.
I believe
Um,
to add to this, I believe we'll imagine that the player who comes as substitute to Fall is Sigma, and Sigma main position is power forward, not center, but because without Milutinov, then Olympiacos do not have at the moment a third center, who can go in and replace Fall. So Sigma is the replacement of Fall. But that's how important also Milutinov is for the team, when he's back.
very, very correct. So do you want to move to to our other team or second team, or do you have
Yeah,
anything more to add? Yeah.
just to add that we
Okay.
brought in this team because we didn't want to change any of our top players. We brought Lukan Bankia's coach because of the credits.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So I'm moving on then to our deep value
Mhm.
team,
So this team,
and on to you.
yeah. So you see this team. Um, if you take Coach Obradovic out, so we have 77 points from Moneke, and the rest of the team has less than 77 points. So that's how important is to choose the right coach and the right captain, you know, based on the turn one or turn two. Because in this, for example, this team, as you see, it had 178 round points, and 97 points is only the coach and Moneke. So the majority of the points that we get in, it's only from the coach and one player.
Mhm.
Um, as you see, overall, we also the capital gain is 2 credits. Howard had an amazing game. Um, as you see, we had Abramovich on the bench, and he also had 18. Yeah.
I was about to say Howard had, I think, 8 out of 13 3-pointers, if I remember correct. Something magical, and had
Mhm.
35 points. So he was
Yeah.
absolutely mad. He just went off, and that's the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
If he gets on a rhythm, we see that last year. He can't stop. He is just on his own groove. So um, it was, yeah, an amazing showing from Marcus Howard.
True. True. Um, and as Bill said, last year we didn't see that many of games, but now Howard, the last games, he's picking it up, and we see some amazing, amazing scores from Howard. Um, as you see, we had Fall and English at the center position. Didn't go very well. So both gave us under 10 fantasy points. Um, Luvavuka Barrow continued. He's in a good stretch with Coach Pozzecco, just 14 credits. Um, but yeah, Larkin is questionable, and we wanted to make some changes for that team. So let's move to round 10 to see what we did. So first of all, in this team, we brought Chus Mateo. Um, if you see 11.9 credits is almost the same as you bring Mustafa Fall to your team. We wanted Chus Mateo because we believe Real Madrid will get the W versus Alba Berlin, and most above all will be with a convincing win, not with, let's say, for example, 5 to 10 points difference. Uh, we kept English. English had a great game in Asabe. I believe 19 points, 14 rebounds, or 11 rebounds, something like that, double double. So we gave him another chance to stay with us in this team. We brought Laverne instead of his teammate Fall. We believe Laverne, in the last game, he had, I believe, only 12 fantasy points, but that's because he missed 11 shots. So he has the skills and the quality, the veteran leadership to work in the paint versus Ibaka and Booker, I believe, or Brankovic, who is replacing Ibaka. Also, we didn't keep Larkin. We brought Devon Hall. He's playing exceptionally well in the last games for Olimpia Milano. So, to save some credits in order to bring Thompson instead of Howard. Howard didn't play in Asabe due to a sore back that was in the news. So we didn't want to risk it. And also because we brought Chus Mateo and we spent most of our credits for the coach. So we brought Thompson, who is on the rise. In the last games, he is very stable. And, with the credits that we had, we brought Devon Hall and we kept Moneke, Davidovic, and Abramovich, you see, because they played turn two. Overall, this is our, deep value team. You see some players that are on the rise. For example, Vavuka Barrow, now he's on the rise. Bellinelli is more or less close to 9 credits. So he's very consistent. in his play. And then also we have Avramovich and Hall, who, depending the day, if it's their day, they can give you more points. But overall, this team, you can get points from all players.
Did you mention Thompson potentially is going to be the main man at the guard position, right? With Larkin being potentially written off for that game.
Yes. Mhm.
So if that's true, then we expect Thompson to just take the ball and control the game. Of course,
Yeah.
he has Larkin. Sorry, apologies. He has Clyburn, but
Yep, the guard position
he
huge.
will be the one calling it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So these are our changes. These are our teams and also the coach selections. Tell us what
Let's see if we're more
believe.
lucky.
Yeah.
I think I want our captains for the second round. It will be potentially Moneke or Thompson if Luaka Barrow doesn't do like a 25 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they both play because I don't want a repeat of a captain last minute not playing and we are unaware. So anyway, tell us your opinion and how your team did, and you can see more updates on X from us. So thank you for staying with us, and speak to you next week.
Yeah, see you next week and enjoy the games.